Welcome to the sweet hum of the engine on day 5. So the wind died down last night about midnight to 2 knots, so we've just been bare poles since then and had the engine on, which is fine. We're going to embrace it today. We were lumping up wind for 4.5 days. It really does take its toll on your body, so today is just a chance for our bodies to have a little break and relax, and the breeze should be arriving this afternoon, a lovely on the beam breeze or a broad reach, and yeah, we'll raise the sails and get sailing again this afternoon, which will be really nice.
You need to get in your dinghy and come out and surf this.
This is living. So we didn't get a sunrise this morning because there was a huge cloud on the horizon, but did you see that moon? That was amazing. And what we can also see right now is land. It seems really perverse just to be so close to land right now, and the first thing I want to do right now is put my feet onto some land, and we're just going straight past it. But I had a look on the chart. It's an island called Walpole Island, which is part of New Caledonia, and by the looks of the charts it looks completely unnavigable. It looks to me like a big lofty rock with really sheer deep bottom all the way around, so there's no way we could throw an anchor down. We'd have to drift around it and take turns to have a little swim, but that's alright. It's pretty much as good as being land, just being on the boat with the motor on, honestly. We get to have a swim because the swells died right down. The house really needs a good old scrub-a-dub-dub. And we're going to be able to be really adventurous down in the galley because there ain't no rocking on this boat. I was going to have a shower right now, but I need to switch over the water tanks because we've finished the first one, and Jackson is snoozing above the tap, so I need to wait for him to wake up before I can do that, but that's alright.
Sitting by the waterfall, flying with the clouds.
Actually a really nice change to just be cruising for a bit. Feeling pretty good. It'd be a nice day to like fight a big wahoo or something. That'd be good. Catch a fish. Oh.
What are you on for lunch?
McDonald's. I mean, Xanthe is enthused to get cooking. And we're getting pizza! Pizza!
I feel really sorry for Jackson. So basically we had to move ship's time 2 hours back. So in Fiji it's what, 1:45 right now? And in New Mayo, where we are now, the time is 2 hours back. So it's 11:45, and I've told Jackson he has to wait for his lunch.
It also means that my watch is 2 hours longer.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No one wants to see like the inside of your mouth. What are you doing? Just wait till you finish before looking at, oh my. Okay, cheeky little homemade pizza base recipe here for anyone who's interested. 2 parts chickpea flour to 1 part water, garlic salt, oregano, zhuzh it all together, heat some oil in a pan, pour in batter, cook for 2 minutes on one side, flip 2 minutes on the other side, add toppings of your choice, cook in the oven until golden, about 10 minutes.
when I was putting our new Australian charts into the chart plotter, we have a Raymarine Axiom chart plotter, and basically you put like a little micro SD card in the back of it, and that has all your charts on it. So we buy Navionics charts, and basically those charts, you know, you have one chip for the Mediterranean, one chip for the Caribbean. So I put in our new chip for the Australian charts and was looking at those and just sussing out where we were going and whatnot. And then when I went to put the chip of our Pacific charts in, the South Pacific charts, it wouldn't work anymore. And I had no idea why. I tried for an hour. Got my been dirty. I really don't know. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if it's me or the charts or the chart plotter, but all my other charts work. So something's happened with that little SD card, and in the space of, I don't know, 40 minutes of not being in the back of the chart plotter. So yeah, that was pretty disappointing, and especially trying to get out of Fiji with the reefs and whatnot. Basically we didn't have any charts. I couldn't buy more charts. I couldn't buy another SD card there in Fiji, and nor did I really want to at $400 a hit or something like that. Yeah, look, basically we didn't have any charts from Fiji to New Caledonia, and we only had the Australian charts, which kind of cover offshore of Australia to New Caledonia, but not New Caledonia itself. And there's quite a few reef systems and little islands along the way. So what I actually did was I downloaded Navionics on the iPad, and I just opted in for the 15-day free trial, and I was able to select the area from Fiji and New Caledonia and all the charts. So using that and that 15-day trial, again, look, in a perfect world I probably would have just bought the charts all again on the app, but again it was another couple of $100 to do so, and the 15-day trial really fitted our window, considering we were only expecting to need them for about 6 days. Or we just opted in for that trial, and so far so good. It's been working really well, and obviously it just connects to the location of the iPad and gives you live tracking. I was a little bit fearful that anything could happen with that trial, or maybe the iPad or something like that, and I do really like using our chart plotter. So I went onto the Navionics on the app on my iPad, and I just scouted out all the reefs and all the obstructions along our path, and then plotted those as waypoints and icons into our chart plotter. So that way at least I knew if for some reason the app died or my subscription failed or something like that and I lost those charts, at least I knew all those obstructions along the way. The other thing I did was I plotted a course into New Caledonia, into the port itself, and that way if for whatever reason we needed to abort mission and we needed to stop off in New Caledonia for, say, into Noumea, for bad weather, or we've got a boat problem or something like that, I knew at least I had a confident chart of which I could follow those waypoints all the way into port.
I'll tell you what, this is a treat. Never get to have tea in a mug when we're under sail. It's just too sketchy. Don't get me wrong, you've probably seen me do it, but every time it ends in disaster. We're doing everything we can to make engine day the best day, because all too many times it's the day that you're cursing that's happening, but I think we've really taken advantage of it today. Jackson's enjoying some me time on the bow. It's actually, when the engine's on, it's really serene up on the bow because you can't hear the engine. There's no rocking, and you can just hear the sounds of the water, and you're not getting thrown around everywhere. We're both chilling this afternoon. Oh, this is amazing.
Alright, little bit of breeze, it's just snuck up now. It's not much, only maybe like 7-8 knots, but it really helps with the engine. Like, a lot of people ask, why do you motor sail? And it's like basically the efficiency of both. Let's say our engine pushes us along quite nicely at 5 knots, and we're using it sort of like 75%, you know, not absolutely smashing it. We could chuck some sails up and probably be quite comfortably doing 6.5 knots. And vice versa, if we just had the sails up, I reckon we'd be doing 3.5 knots. So it's just about combining forces, and then if the breeze stays in, we can ease the engine off more and save more fuel, or turn it off completely. Yeah, so that was definitely worth it. So we went from 5 knots to 6.8 knots. So we can ease the engine off a little, save some fuel. Hopefully still sit at probably 6.2. In conditions like this, especially when you've got a bit of swell pushing you around, the engine just keeps the momentum. There's another thing on the boat called apparent wind. The easiest way to explain apparent wind is imagine a bicycle. You know, as you ride a bike, you create your own wind on your face, you know. As the boat moves into the wind, its momentum and its speed creates wind, which is called an apparent wind. The way you calculate your apparent wind is, let's say you have 10 knots coming from coming on the nose, you're heading upwind and you've got 10 knots, and you're doing 5 knots, your apparent wind is probably like 15 knots. The opposite, if you're going downwind at 5 knots in 10 knots of breeze, you subtract it and you've probably got like 5 knots of apparent breeze. So what the engine does as well is it just helps us keep up that apparent wind, you know, it keeps us going. It just keeps the boat with a little bit of momentum, which keeps the apparent wind building.
I'm gonna be alright. I've been caught in time. I want you to know that I love
What's she got for me?
Dinner.
Are we gonna have it on the bow?
you so. And I feel like gold.
Well, I feel really good. I feel like I've had a day on land. I've been able to do so many things that I wouldn't normally be able to do. I've made a cup of tea in an actual mug. I did yoga.
Yeah, nice little change, nice little recovery day after a few days of hard sailing.
Yeah.
Just uncomfortable sailing, but yeah, nice. Nice to have a little chill moment to just recuperate, get a bit of sleep in. It's getting colder now though, eh?
Oh, it's so cold, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Australia. Let's turn around.
So I'll tell you my thought of the day.
Oh yeah, go for it.
It was, how long will it take us to, I guess, like freeze back up? You know how people always talk about having to thaw out? Like,
Oh yeah.
like people who live in really cold climates get really acclimatized to it. Like 0 degrees, they don't really care. They're just in like a t-shirt outside. But then if you go put them in a hot place like Panama, they're just dying.
Well, I know about this because I lived in Bali and then had to go back to England.
Oh yeah.
And so how it works is when you're in the hot countries, your blood thins, and it actually takes a couple of months for your blood to thicken back up again. Yeah, it's been pretty peachy, hasn't it? Living in these hot extremes.
Oh, it's
Loving
just permanently living in board shorts. Maybe a t-shirt for sun protection.
Permanently troppo,
Yeah.
as my mate Jackson would
Proper.
say. So my thought of the day, I'm gonna do it. It's not for everyone. It's a little bit woo-woo actually. I listened to this podcast with Gabby Bernstein. She was talking about attraction, law of attraction and manifestation, and she said that the old adage of I will be happy when I get X, that everyone thinks in, you know, material ways or spiritual ways, it's actually should be reversed. It should be I will get X when I feel good. And Gabby argues that you need to feel good within yourself and be happy before everything else can flow on, because otherwise you're just going to be living in resistance.
I reckon a 55-foot gunboat.
Yeah, but when you feel good, you'll get a 55-foot gunboat. That's what I mean.
No, I reckon I'll feel pretty good.
So let's
No,
start feeling good.
I reckon
Ben.
I'll
Come
feel
on.
pretty good going 25 knots on a brand new gunboat.
Alright.
No, you're spot on, I reckon.
Yeah, so...
It's a good thought.
And I really feel like, because on this trip, I feel like we've both just felt so good in ourselves and about what we're doing and about life. And I have noticed that things have started flowing for us, and I do think they're connected.
Yeah, I think life is only ever as good as the lens you look through it, eh?
Very philosophical
Yeah,
for
I just
day
ca-
5.
Yeah, I just came up with that one.
Alright, well that was yet another obscene sunset over the water. Catch you on day 7.
Caught in time.